Hey guys, welcome to the Blue Collar Business Podcast, where we discuss the realest, rawest, most relevant stories and strategies behind building every corner of a blue collar business. I'm your host, Cy Kirby, and I want to help you what it took me, trial and error, and a whole lot of money to learn. The information that no one in this industry is willing to share. Whether you're under that shade tree or have your hard hat on, let's expand your toolbox. Welcome back, guys. I can't tell you how excited I am today to bring to you a guest that was literally, if I didn't have him at the intro of SciCon, I don't know if SciCon would be standing today. And we can go so far in depth on that. But Mr. Daniel Long is the general manager at Equipment Share here in Springdale, Arkansas. Today we're going to be kind of going over some rental house lease agreements, more in the rental space. Big equipment, little equipment, saws, jackhammers, you're talking lighting, anything you need in the blue collar space on a job site day to day. Mr. Long has dealt with, shipped across the country, and made sure that he's met a deadline for biggest of big jobs to the smallest of small guy like I was when I first started out. And 4 things we're going to be covering today: essential strategies for maximizing equipment efficiency, various forms of renting equipment, and how it can benefit you at the right time in your business, guys. Importance of ongoing equipment training and development for blue-collar workers, because let me tell you guys, the rental capacity, they've got to worry about safety, if not a little bit larger than I do, with all the various equipment they deal with. And we're going to wrap it up talking about a little bit of the economic challenges and inflation and labor shortages. So before I get too far, I've got to tell you guys a story. And me and Mr. Long are going to have some lengthy conversation. But when I first started out, I was just like you guys. I'm telling you guys all the time, go rent the equipment. Find the job, rent the gear for the job. Put the rental number in the job. That way you're covered. You don't have to go buy a Mini X. You don't have to go buy a skid steer. I've said that more on my YouTube stuff. But I went and did that exact thing, but I went and rented a Mini X and a skid steer, what the platform I knew how to make money on. And this is almost 10 years ago, I went to Mr. Long back at that rental house and I said, hey man, I need this and this. And you're like, buddy, I got you. You need the chainer down with too? And I said, no. So I threw it on the trailer and away I went. And of course, 30 days comes and Daniel calls me. He's like, hey, what are we doing about these billing here, buddy? I need my money, you know? So man, he helped me out in a crucial state, but I learned something so crucial is that if you develop a relationship, what I talk about on this podcast all the time, that business is relationships. Number one, I developed my first vendor relationship and I let him in and I said, hey man, this is kind of where I'm at. I'm starting out. I'm brand freaking new. I don't even know I got this invoice. Like, what are we talking about? And he worked with me. And I swear to God to you guys that if he didn't work with me in those early days, I don't think I'd have been standing here today to be able to have any type of credibility for some type of podcast or the YouTube content. So, number one, thank you, brother, for that. But thank you for joining me today. And
thanks for the invite, man.
Dude, I'm so excited to get into some of this. The number one thing I get requested is, hey, rent, lease, or buy. What do I do? All the time. Before I get too far, guys, if this content interests you, there's plenty more episodes at bluecollarbusinesspodcast.com. And you guys don't even have to have a platform streaming subscription. You can listen to it right there on the website, and you can hear all episodes there, including Daniel's when we get it up. So furthermore, man, where can we find you? I guess we need to probably share your email address if you need rental house needs.
Sure. EquipmentShare.com is our corporate website. My email at the company is daniel.long@equipmentshare.com.
Beautiful.
Reach me there anytime.
I've had your various emails over the years, sir. But that one's been almost 5 years you've been with Equipment Share now? Because they're kind of a newer company.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Right? When did they start?
So they started back in 2015.
Right.
I started with them. We opened our store in Springdale in 2019. I started in 2020, March of 2020 to be exact.
COVID.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I caught COVID right after I started. Yeah, that was a good way to start. Trying to learn all the systems. Came down with COVID. Had to learn all the systems. Sitting in my bedroom trying to. It was rough. Yeah, it was. I guess trial by fire for sure.
Dude,
so
it was for me too.
yeah,
That's you've been in the rental house game for pretty much almost your entire career, you would say?
pretty much. I worked for a general contractor for 5 years, and I've been at equipment rental for 15 years now.
And
So 14.
I think, would you say that working at that general contractor helped you mitigate relationships moving forward in the rental game?
Absolutely. I still deal with a lot of customers that I, worked with on a sub level or
Right.
whatever it may be when I was working with the GC. Definitely learned what people are going to do to rental equipment, so I knew what to look for.
That's good.
when
Yeah.
I came here.
I didn't even
So
think about that.
yeah,
I was thinking more just the way you treated me compared to other people, especially when I first started out, man. It was, you understood. And I was like, wow, this guy gets it. Like, no, I'm trying, bro, with everything in me to I'll get you paid, I promise you. And I have for 9 freaking years, or when I'm sitting
Absolutely.
here. So
yes, sir.
I have always tried to deal, send business your way. You've taken care of me, even when you went way up in the upper ups, managing all of
I
them.
don't
But
know about that.
For a blue collar guy, you know what I mean. You went up there where a lot of us, an area or a district manager of anything, that's
Sure.
coming from working at a general contractor, a
Yeah.
blue collar guy. You've paved your own path in this rental game. So congratulations. And I cannot tell you. He still is a rental rep. He still drives a truck. He's still CDL holder, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I
Yep.
figured. I used to pass him all the time. And back when I drove a little bit more than I do now. But, man, I just thought it was cool. He wasn't in a back office all the time. Every time I was calling him about a rental deal, he's looking on a laptop on the side of a Peterbilt, driving, own Traco or whatever. Sure. And I was doing the same thing. And I just really appreciated your grind, man. And you still have it. And it's well-deserved and well-earned. And, man, this store over here in Springdale, guys, is a nice facility. They have really turned it into something. And, man, you guys have a ton of equipment, bro, from what to what?
Oh, we've got little hammer drills, handheld hot saws, concrete saws, core drills, all the way up to 130,000-pound excavator. So
And
wide range
and
for sure.
And it's so crazy. And I think before we move forward, it's you having that little bit of blue collar background, man. And you're not really in a white collar space. You're definitely in the blue collar world in the rental game. There's no doubt about it. But even, you understand where we're all coming from and how this construction industry, if you would probably agree, needs to change a little bit. It's a little behind the times.
It is.
And that's the number one reason behind this podcast, man, is to try and help, not necessarily pioneer or frontier anything, but, man, somebody's got to start talking about it at least. And, we can go into how payment scale works in between a general contractor and a subcontractor and an ownership group, and how long it takes, and retainage, and all these other various crappy subjects, and infuriate me. But if we don't start opening these conversations and these guys don't know who to contact or get in business with, and to know where the good people are is hard. Especially, I didn't trust nobody, dude.
Sure.
And
And a lot of people don't want you to succeed. So,
dude, it is so accurate, man. There's a lot of folks waiting for you to fail.
yeah.
And I don't appreciate those people,
Right.
especially when you're the guy trying to do it. It's not easy. So, furthermore, dude, as I have rented probably a few $1 million by at this point in 9 years of rental equipment with you, man, and every time I call you with a maintenance question, a repair, a billing, a whatever, you're always the guy to talk to, and you're so well-rounded. So I don't know who better to get this from for, everybody that's sitting here listening. Talk about how you can maximize your equipment efficiency for a guy maybe in the excavation space, or maybe talk about a framer that has to rent Skytrax all the freaking time.
Sure.
Go ahead, man.
So, it's all, like you said, it's all about relationship. And, what we're here to do is help you guys get the job done.
Right.
Obviously, the longer the equipment goes out, the better for us. The less turns, less mechanics we have to put on it, back at the shop. But we want what makes most sense to you guys, okay?
Oh.
So we want a long-term relationship. We're not looking for that, just one-time deal. So we want you constantly coming back. So, if you call me and say you need something for a month, and then after a week you're like, oh, no, I'm done with that. I need something else, We work with you. We charge you the whatever you owe us. We don't, oh, no, you said you needed a month, so it doesn't work like that.
I'm gonna jump on that real quick and prove that point, because I have been done really wrongly in the rental game, and I've paid every invoice. Can't sit here and talk about the subject if I can't say that I've paid every invoice, and I have with every freaking rental house. And say a guy, I'll take one instance. There was a gentleman. I'm not going to name any names or company names. They rented me a hammer hoe on a Traco and used it for 3 days, which is a week. Totally get that. That's standard in the rental space. Well, it rained for almost 2 weeks. We didn't work. We didn't use a machine. Sure. It didn't burn any hours. They had hours trackers back then still, and I wasn't smart enough to write down my hours when I got my machine or took a picture of it back then. That's a pro tip. But he charged me for a month and then came out there the first day that I was working while he was eating, I'll never forget it, while he was eating a cheeseburger, and he looks over at me and he goes, hey man, you're getting pretty close to a month on this thing. And I'm standing in like knee-deep water, working on a water main, looking up out a ditch at this guy eating a cheeseburger. And this is the first day I've gotten to freaking work in, a week and a half out here. And this guy's coming up here. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding. Are you? So I got out, and it turned into a whole ordeal, of course. And I didn't win that argument. They charged me for the entire month, paid it, whatever. Of course, I had choice words, etc. So I've been done wrong in the rental game. I just wanted to prove that. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So, efficiency, we have probably the most robust tracking and telematics systems in the industry. I've got several customers set up on reports that they receive weekly. You can get it daily, but most of them do it weekly, of what they have on rent. You can see your utilization, idle time, how long the equipment's been operated. You can see on a map where it's been operated, set up geofences, and
that's crazy, man.
It really is. What's really helpful for a lot of people, especially once they start renting, multiple pieces and have multiple guys renting pieces.
Multiple crews.
Yeah. You get these emails that show your utilization weekly. Well, you've got 20 things rented. It's hard for you to keep up with. You've got plenty of other stuff to go.
100%.
But if you get that report and see that backhoe hasn't moved in a week, you can make a quick call to me and say, hey, dude, let's call it off. Or you can call your foreman and say, hey, man, y'all haven't used that backhoe in a week. Do you really need it right now?
Did you guys work last week?
Yeah, exactly. So, but, that's when you can call me and say, hey, I haven't used that in a week. I'm not going to need it for another 2 weeks. Does it make more sense to keep it? Yep. Does it make sense to call it off? And that's when, a close relationship with a rental rep or someone, you can work that out and find out what's in your best interest,
Because sorry, not to cut you off, but it makes sense when he's saying that sometimes it does make sense. Say you've got a 140 or maybe a 180 size excavator. It's not quite the easiest move off. You need a low boy. Landals, it's kind of iffy on, it's too high. So you've got to set that move up. Does it really make enough sense for you to move that machine off that job, sit at the yard for 2 weeks, didn't have an operator, and then send it back out? It doesn't.
All right.
And so that relationship, yeah, man, 100%.
Yeah. And
Make
like
that
you
phone
said
call.
earlier, like you said earlier with that track hoe with the breaker on it, you know, if you have it 3 days, that's a week. If you have it 2.5 weeks, that's a month charge. So if you've got something for 2 weeks, you're not going to need it for a week, but then you need it for a week, the week following, it makes more sense to keep it than to pay that freight and all that.
100%.
And that's just, that's where it comes down to just giving us a call
And dude,
we figure out what makes sense for you.
I also forgot, man, early on in the years, I was paying all those delivery charges too because I didn't have big enough trailer. And speaking to a lot of these guys, of course, freight has gone.
Oh,
I know. Fuel, though.
fuel,
everything. It's ridiculous. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. But trucking and moving this equipment isn't a fun, cheap game anymore.
Wow.
And you guys need to figure that in. If you're, say you're bidding a driveway, etc., and you want a dozer there, well, you need to let them know that it's going to cost me $600 to $1,000 within a 10-mile radius, from the store. I mean, it's a larger piece of equipment to get it there, and then it's going to cost me $600 to $1,000 to move it back, and work that into your bid. So I was just having kind of an epiphany sitting there while you're talking about trucking, because how many trucks you got at your store, man?
We've got 5. We run 4 full time. Have other haulers helping us out. It's busy right now. Very fortunate.
My God.
To be thriving like we are in Northwest Arkansas for sure. So
I had no idea you had 4 freaking trucks going. Since we've had our own lowboy, we've tried to basically limit all of those freight delivery charges, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. We're moving other gear, etc., and we'll have you move it one way or the other. But
sure,
man, 4 are those all Landals?
Yes, sir.
Really?
We've got a low boy. We've got 1 low boy,
Gotcha.
and then 4 Landals.
Because
then we've got a 1-ton and a trailer. I'll jump in it. Somebody will jump in it. There's always our 4 trucks running plus.
So you got to deal with the whole dispatch side of the company and deal with the whole trucking company too.
We do it all there in house. It's all handled in Springdale. Obviously working for a corporation. They assist in a lot of ways, but we coordinate all the deliveries. When you talk to us, we have it all handled right there in house.
That's crazy, bro.
It's a lot.
That's crazy. That's a trucking company.
It is. Oh,
plus number one in your world is sales. Sales is you
absolutely a trucking company
breathing down your neck. But then you've got to manage as general manager within the same building. Have to manage both, dude. That's kind of crazy because that's. I get it. It coincides, but the businesses don't run the same. You're worried about different things over here than you're worried about things over here,
Absolutely.
And then you're working on the machines back there. You've got how many bays? That's a bigger shop now.
It is.
How many bays?
So we have 6
my God.
drive-through bays. So essentially, we can fit 12 techs in there very easily. Either side,
right?
One on each side. We've got a really nice shop and a really nice yard.
Yeah.
Very large yard. We can stock all the equipment we need. Nice
You can
wash
pull it
bay.
out of there too. It's really nice.
Absolutely, yeah. Plenty of room to get around.
And most of them are tight little buildings.
Oh,
with
yeah.
crappy concrete, and you're always worried about anyways. But
Yeah, we're very fortunate.
dude,
Our company has really taken care of us and got us.
they've come on
we need to
strong,
thrive.
dude. Me
have.
and you were both there, at other said company, and we're sitting there talking. Is this really going to become a thing? We kind of heard about it, as contractor side, and you, of course, heard about it before I did, in being in the rental space. And I kind of was like, is this really going to happen? And then they're everywhere.
Boom.
How many locations we got now?
Oh, 170, 180 probably.
Oh my God.
I've lost track.
That's like 12 years, right? Or 10 years? Just under 10 years.
Yeah, just under 10. So
2019
really is when they really started expanding. Shortly before I started.
Right.
And then they've just blown up. And the only reason it hasn't gone even further than it has is COVID really knocked some things back. It slowed everything down.
I think I heard that I know you guys sling, a lot of Sany iron, which is, I've owned a Sany, loved the machine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any qualms with it. I know guys have it out there, but if I'm renting something, I ain't got no problem renting a Sany as long as the air conditioner works. Come on, those rollers, dude. Oh,
yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
But I have rented. We can move on here to this various forms of renting equipment, man, and how it can benefit you at the right time. I just wanted to jump in here before this is kind of your floor and your and your whole format here, whatever you want to say, brother, because. I really brought you on to help these guys from day one to a guy that's, say, almost 10 years in, like myself. How can we benefit from renting, not just from renting, but from renting with equipment share, or et cetera. But maybe some things you've learned over your 15 years of experience, how you can share and maybe avoid some things. Number one, building a relationship. Don't just avoid phone calls. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I've never done that, but I've seen it.
Always answered my call.
100%, brother. I mean, if we owe you money, we owe you money. I mean, there's no getting away from it, or they come take all your crap. That's about how it works. So you got to pay the bill. But man, I have rented jackhammers, hot saws, air tools, to Tracos, to last year we rented quite a bit with you as we kind of expanded into the dirt, and then we got. It was a rough situation for your boy. I've kind of talked about that, but I really appreciate you, and I wish everybody had a Daniel at their store, because when I heard you were coming back here to Springdale and like managing the store, I was like, freaking, oh my God, yes. I mean, I can get answers, and just like we had a 365 drop today. It's an 80,000 pound machine. It's probably dropping as we speak right now. The boys, that's what we're hoping. And it's the small things, guys. Talking to the more tenured veterans that have rented a few $1 million worth of equipment. You text me, it's the little things. Hey man, 60-inch bucket work, and I'm like, oh no, man, I need a 4-footer, because in the application, we're benching into a really rock-solid kind of hard place, but we're moving it with a 210. It's just so low as all daylights. But if I had a rental machine brought a 60-inch bucket out there, if Danny wouldn't have asked, he would have just shipped it. And, of course, hopefully my superintendent would have said something, I would assume. But I just went from a 3-foot backfill ditch, and I doubled my ditch in rock, guys. Those things right there will blow a job out of water so fast. The size of your bucket freaking matters. Absolutely. And you checked with me yesterday on this big machine and covering me, but man, just talk about it. All these different various forms we can rent with you, man.
Sure. So, just starting out, man, I've seen a lot of different contractors do different things, just getting started, you figure the rental into your projects. Go ahead and rent equipment, okay? Don't start out. Don't go buy brand new. I've seen it happen. You've seen it happen. Start out. Let us take the brunt. Let us, front that money, get that high expense, and just get into it by renting. If you want to buy something, give us a call. Buy something used. We sell used equipment all the time.
Yep.
And work your way up. Then you want to go out and buy something brand new after, you get some jobs under your belt and get that built up, then go for it. But don't put yourself in a bind, because we're there to take care of you. If something goes south.
Shop, trucking.
Yeah, maintenance. We've got, you don't have to worry about the trucking. You talked about delivery and pickup being expensive, and it is, but it's not near as expensive as buying a tractor, a trailer, a driver, somebody with a CDL.
Oh, buddy.
If your truck isn't up to DOT standards, paying those fines when you get popped, because you will. So it's just a safe bet to let us help you out. You know, we're there for you. So give us a call, and we walk through it. Every time I talk to somebody about renting equipment, I like to include all the taxes and fees. You know, everybody has fees.
Thank you.
I'll tell you all, man. If something's $10,000 a month, I like to tell you, hey, it is $10,000 a month, but with fees, delivery, pickup, assuming you keep it as long as you say, you're looking at realistically $15,000, $16,000.
Yep.
Here you go. You know, that way you're not unprepared for getting that bill later.
No, 100%.
You got to recoup those costs, but you can't if you don't know about them. So I try to be upfront with you on everything that's coming down the pipe.
So crucial, dude. I can go off and tell a rental horror story, man. But hey, where are we at on this? Where are you at on this? Check around, dude. I'm 9K, and I'm like, bro, you're 9K all in.
Yeah,
like that's it,
right?
Yep, 100%. I'm all in, 9K.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Shoot me a quote. All right, shoots me a quote. Back then, bro, no taxes. I didn't see no delivery on there.
Sure.
Just on 9K. Cool.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
Perfect. I can make that work.
That sucker ended up being $20-something thousand. Had it a little longer than I needed, but at the same time, just the delivery back and forth wasn't prepared for. Yep. The taxes on stuff like that, especially nowadays with taxes.
Yep.
Anyways,
sure.
It's crazy, but go ahead.
Like you said, you know, we have day, week, and month rental rates. You know, you rent something for 2 weeks, and then you finish with it somehow 2 or 3 days. We charge you the 2 days, week, whatever's cheaper. Generally, 3 days turns into a week price automatically. It defaults to that. And then again, 2.5 weeks turns into a month, or actually 28 days is how the billing works.
Right.
But again, you know, you call, say where you're at, keep us posted, and we always figure out what makes the most sense for you. You know, we want you coming back, so we're there to help you out.
100%, man. And I can sit here and talk about all the day as long of calling you at 4:30 in the afternoon and go, bro, I'm host. I really need this tomorrow. And you're like, yeah, let me make a few phone calls.
I'm sweating.
Yeah,
but,
we'll try and figure it out. But 80% of the time, we've always figured it out. And it's the communication back and forth of, hey, dude, I can't get it first thing, but I can have it here after lunch. You can take it from there. Or I can deliver it right to your job, whatever the case may be. But I think you hit a nail on the head, dude, is not going out and buying equipment. Run some rental equipment, and not just from the standpoint of, owning the equipment. Well, you got to maintain that equipment and the damages from your inexperience as you're doing this. Because, dude, I would much rather mess up your machine and have to pay for it a little bit rather than have to pay for all of it if I owned it. And
even if you have to pay for all of it, you're still paying for it either way. So.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. And, where are you going to store it? That stuff takes up room.
Yep. And
we have 17 acres to put it on, and that's all we do.
Right.
So
and
let us do it. Let us help you out for a little while.
Exactly. And I've said this before, probably I can think of one other episode that I've really kind of gone off on this, but essentially, guys, if you can go out and find work, bid the rentals in, check with the rental house, get prices, all in prices, taxes, and delivery. Okay, figure that into a bid, whether you're a HVAC guy and you need lifts, whether you're a framer that's needing a crap ton of sky tracks for a multifamily, whether you're an excavation guy that needs a hammer hoe or a big, larger excavator because of the rock, I don't care who you are. If you're having to rent equipment, take advantage of, right off the bat, trying to bid the job with the machines in it. They show up, they take them away, it's their problem. because that job's only this long. And unless you're looking to do this time and time and time and time again, cool. Get enough work to do it time and time and time and time again with those rental numbers in there already. Let them take a beating for the first year. I did it for about 8 months, and I knew about after that I couldn't take the rental bills anymore because I knew in my head that I could make money if I did all the equipment.
Yeah.
Took me years to figure out how to actually quote unquote make money, and it's starting with bidding those rental rates in, whether you own the equipment or not.
That's it. Even once you own it, it still costs you money. You still have to bid that job with that same rate basically in mind.
Why wouldn't you, though?
Yeah.
That way, and here's a key thing, the biggest thing for me, well, Si, you're sitting there and you own a bunch of Komatsus and you own a bunch of New Gear. I still rent crap every day because my number one thing is downtime. And if I'm sitting there in a bid position and thinking that the guy next to me isn't going to bid his equipment into the job, he's gonna in his own format. There's no doubt. But he may be the cheapest in town. I'm not looking to be the cheapest in town. Not to be able to cover everything and actually make a profit.
Anymore. You're trying to make
dude, I'm trying to make some money. And that means everything paid for, and then there's profit after everything said and done. About 2 to 7% as an average excavation contractor. And it's not easy to do.
Sure.
Everything's got to go right, and then you start growing. Okay, Si, you've got all this brand new shiny equipment. Well, then I'm still, as of last year, renting equipment to cover holes and spots because I may have an excavator for this job.
Yeah.
But my wheel loader and my backhoe and my skid steers and all my bedding equipment may be tied up at another job trying to backfill something. So I'll go, hey, Daniel, what do you think on backhoe or wheel loader? I need it for about 30 days. But to get off on another little subject matter is tracking those rentals, dude. Tracking those rentals is so key. And honestly, I would be Miss D was wonderful at it, but Tyler, he's fixing to be on the podcast, works for us and has for about 8 months now, comes from the rental background, especially rigs, and he knows kind of how this game works, and he knows as soon as you're done with it and it's not freaking moving, let the rental house know.
Yeah.
And he is all about it. And you guys, your format, your online login, we have any rental house.
I need to get him on that if he's not, because he'll be able to get on this.
Dude, that'll make our lives, me and your lives, way easier.
It really will.
And any other rental house that we have, please. Any other rental house that we have has that format, and you can see, just like you're saying, not near as in depth, that you can see idle, burn rate, etc. That's big key in our world. I want to see that thing moving if I'm paying the freaking weekly or monthly expense.
Sure.
The last thing, the day, the week, the month, not last thing, but man, if you only need it for 2 days, you only need it for 2 days.
Sure.
But is there really not another project you couldn't find for one more day for it to do, and then you get 2 more days free?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, move it to another job.
And
call us, we move it, you move it.
Pay an extra $600.
Keep finding jobs, keep moving it.
Yeah, move it. It's whatever. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Move it somewhere else and get a week out of it. And those 2 days, Thursday and Friday, are free.
Yeah,
exactly. And then you got the weekend. And then turn it back in. It's all about how much you can hustle. I can go off on there, but man, as you know, as you've been general manager of for Equipment Share for as long as you have in previous rental games, and dude, you've seen the safety improve tremendously, I would say.
Absolutely.
And all the programs that you have to go through, me and you both agree, I would assume, on the safety requirements improving, because we have seen the stupidity and the ignorance, that leads to accidents that if we did have a safety procedure, maybe that wouldn't have happened. And talk about a little bit of the equipment training, not only you've seen over the years, but now that Equipment Share is doing as well.
Sure. So, ANSI is the standards that mostly what we go by with all our equipment. They're all the time coming out with new ways to make the machine safer and protect people that even really don't know how to operate. I mean, they've got it to where you almost can't hurt. I mean, you can hurt yourself bad on it, but they're just trying to limit, what happens out there.
Liability.
Yeah. And, the first step of it is ANSI and OSHA coming up with, hey, this is what needs to be done to make these things safer. So then the OEMs, they come out with what they're putting on the machines, and then it comes to us, and then we have to train our guys to recognize, this is how it's calibrated. This is what it's got to be within spec. So
For
we get
every
the
machine?
A lot of machines, especially aerial, boom lifts and scissor lifts.
Understood.
A lot of just dangerous. Everything we deal with, tries to kill you pretty much.
Yep, 100%.
And that's if you know what you're doing.
Right.
So, all our guys just constantly train on it. Everything is getting more and more electronic. So even scissor lifts, we plug in with a computer now. And on the dot, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of manual things on them still.
Right.
But everything is electronic. They all have computers in them, and that's how you reprogram and do everything on them. I mean, it is wild the amount of electronics in pretty much every piece of equipment now.
You've been in it long enough. Do you think it's a benefit?
I think they're safer.
Right. Okay.
I think they're safer. It's stuff we have to learn new all the time, but that's just part of it. I think it's worth, if it saves one life,
100%.
I mean, if that was your friend or your family, would that have been important to you? So that's what you got to think about. So I do think it's good, and I do think it's safer. A lot of contractors, it almost makes it more difficult sometimes, just because some of the equipment is getting so touchy and
quick responsive.
So many, some people are used to throwing in, their toolbox, and we'll hang this 800-pound window off this boom, and it'll lift it up, and it doesn't work like that anymore. So in the long run, I would say it's a good thing, but it can be frustrating at times. And that's another thing. We get the equipment ready to go and repaired and all that, but then you guys are out in the field using it. Y'all have to
beating the crap out of it because it's a rental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being
Sure.
honest.
Yeah. But we've got to go over with you guys every time something new comes out. Oh, hey, this one operates a little bit different. This safety switch, does this. If this comes unplugged, then it's not going to do anything. And it's
trench roll,
just constant training. Oh yeah, just constant training. So
no, the high vis, and I didn't even think about all the aerial stuff you guys move, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you rent a lot to framers. I mean, I couldn't even think about all the trades on that side. I'm an underground guy, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But Skytrax, I mean...
Yeah, forklifts and aerial definitely have the most, I would say the most changes to safety-related issues or items. Dirt, not as much.
Right.
So...
But I got to say, man, OSHA has, on the dirt guys, we've had... I should know this number, but we had like 18 deaths in Arkansas.
Really?
I
didn't know that.
The last
That's
2
awful.
years. It is terrible on trench safety.
All
here.
avoidable.
Yes, every single one of them, in my opinion. I don't... Anyways, we can go off on that, a whole different deal, but OSHA has really cracked down on us. You got to have every nook and cranny, just like we were talking DOT, but... And OSHA showing up isn't the funnest thing on the job. And I know we have 2 full-timers here in Benton, Washington County that are traveling around looking for, violations and carrying out inspections as needed. But I think safety is – I've always wondered, man, with all that different types of equipment, how do you – poor drivers, you know what I mean?
They touch it all.
I guess everybody touches it all in the end run. But, man, just from the the hand tools to the big stuff. You said you had 130,000 pounds, Sandy 500?
It is.
Yeah,
Sandy
that's right.
500.
That's what I thought. I was sitting here wondering what would that be.
And there's stuff out there that makes that look like a Tonka toy. But
crazy,
that's as big as we have, which is it's big.
But, it's massive. Yeah. There is no doubt about it. My 360, Komatsu 360 is massive and can move a ton of earth, but no, it's got almost 40,000 pounds on it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, dude, but this area, speaking on that, I mean, we don't realistically 336 cat, more of that 300 class machine is about as big you're going to get in the dirt space. I don't know anything about the aerial or any of that crap, but
sure.
I mean, having that size machine and having access to that as a rental company is crazy, though.
It is.
Is it rented right now? I bet you got one rented right now in a monitor or something.
One up
That's
here
what
right
I
now,
figured.
but he's got one.
We've got quite a few quarries here in Northwest Arkansas, quite a few, and they're expanding every day. But let's get into something that I think is a little bit more intriguing for the both of us. Don't get me wrong. Safety's intriguing. Don't bust on me too bad. But the economic challenges you faced as general manager from the inflation, as we were talking about, fuel and driver pay, I know we can talk about that, and just the labor shortages in general. You said you started right in the middle of COVID. Take us kind of through all of that. I have faced enough economic challenges in the last 4 years. It's like I'm Swiss cheese walking, you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
It is what it is, but we've taken some crazy blows, but you've built this awesome store in the last 4 years through it all. So, man, talk about some of that.
Yeah, so, COVID hit right after I started and made everything almost impossible to get.
Yep.
Things break every day, and, at that point, it didn't matter how much it cost, you couldn't get it.
100%.
Because factories were shut down, and it was that was really rough and really discouraging. But I feel like we've bounced back pretty well from it. We've got an awesome team there, really dedicated guys, always looking for help. We're hiring, looking for people right now. I think I got everybody identified, and fingers crossed, we'll be good for a while, but with growth, we'll be looking for more people. But
always,
we've been very fortunate on our retainage on our employees. But it is a struggle, man. Everything costs more, but it doesn't seem to flow through on the bottom line for a lot of blue collar guys. I don't know, lumber if you're building houses, and everything has just doubled, it seems like. But I don't know that everybody's bottom line has doubled. I haven't seen it, but hope yours has. No, okay.
So boy, sitting on this side of the table. We're shooting for the stars, though.
That has definitely been a struggle, and with everything costing more, rental rates go up. Repairs, it just all rolls. Trucking, yeah, fuel. Absolutely. And every time, trucks break a lot, unfortunately. So it seems like there's always a service truck or a delivery truck in the shop, and just spending money on them.
Them 10 trucks I bought, man, about killed me.
Yeah.
I bought 4 January 1, 2021. 24. Yeah, that's about right. And they about killed me. They about killed me. And it was dumb on my part. I thought I had to have them to move dirt for our own dirt operations. I needed to get dirt operations figured out and outsource that truck, and just like I did last year, and just like I do sometimes in rentals.
Sure.
And just treat it as write-off. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Pass money through and go on.
Yeah.
And, dude, trucking in general, like I said, we've got our own lowboy on the road. And DOT, oh my God, seems like they're heightening things every other day, and just the fuel price and driver pay is what's blown away me. When I first started out, my first dump truck driver Things started at $17 an hour. And by the end of about 2 years ago, when I was really, about a year and a half ago, when I was really still running dump trucks, I still got one now. Dude, every one of them was in the shop. I couldn't keep one of them on the road.
Yeah.
I could not ever, and I'm lining up work for it, and I can't do any work for them. Now, don't get me wrong. I did hire somebody to, nope, I can't take, I will take all the blame every time, but I had somebody hired after the first of the year, been talking to him for 6 months. They ran and operated their own truck very successfully for almost 15 years and was going to come over and kind of slowly work towards retirement and help me get my truck set up. He bailed in the first week. And so I knew right then that I had made a pretty hard mistake. But, dude, I think I was starting out at 17, and there at the end of it, I was paying like $23, $24 an hour just to get somebody in the seat. And I don't have a driver right now, dude.
Yeah.
I won't even freaking do it. I got a dump truck for sale. Come on. You know? But I drivers drive me crazy, dude. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how you deal with that capacity.
Man, like I said, we have got a great team. I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't have the guys behind me doing what they do. I mean, they do all the real work. You know, it's all. I'm just there for support, just moral support for them. And when you call me,
I'm there. That's
all I'm here for, man.
And dude, that's a testament to you, though, man. You've been a great leader. That's why you've held all the roles you had, and I've watched you over the years be a fantastic leader to your employees. Care about your employees, care about when things didn't go right for them, whether it was in your control or not. I've seen, I mean, you're in that blue collar realm, but you're in that corporate world too. And it's this indivisive line that I bet is not a very fun one to walk.
I actually love it. But
do you?
Yeah, but maybe I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know. But no, it's, depends who you work for. This company is great. Cannot say enough about them. They give me the tools I need to do my job. I try to take care of our guys. I try to make it a place where they want to come to work. You know, when they're having fun, I'm having fun. I want to come in. We've all got a job to do, but I want us all to enjoy it. Right. I don't want to wake up and dread coming to work. I'm not going to do that. I will do something else if that's, yeah. Now, there are days where I have to motivate myself.
A little extra cup of coffee, eh, bud?
You know, it's nothing. Everybody comes up with that. But no, I really love the position. I love working with all the guys at the shop, trying to get them
and it shows,
where they want to go. It's rewarding. It's stressful, but I really enjoy it. And it's
I
really
use the
rewarding.
word fulfilling a lot.
Yeah.
It's so fulfilling because if I did it for the money,
yeah,
no, it's not about the money.
You can always go do something for more money.
Oh,
you can always do something, but
100%.
Will you enjoy it? And if you don't, or if you can't go spend time with the family after you are at work enjoying it, it's not worth it.
Time is way more precious than money to me. Well,
yeah.
It holds more value for me, and
Absolutely.
Family time, as you're a family man yourself and have the children, and as you get pulled in every direction, and it's like you've got, how many guys do you have on staff? And everybody, I mean, there's probably
we've
20
got
of you.
27 at the one branch. Yeah, just hired another guy Monday. Just made an offer to another guy and need to do one more. So, we'll be close to 30. Yeah.
Buddy, that's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. But
that's crazy.
Hey, I'll tell you what has really helped me keep my sanity is, and you know him, Shane Dickard.
Yeah?
Dude, could not have done any of this.
Shout out to
help.
Big Shane.
You probably know him. You knew him before you and I met, probably, didn't you?
No, just the hurt.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
So, I thought y'all had known each other for some reason, but...
No, we fished a little bit.
Okay.
Fished around each other a little bit.
He's been instrumental in, whatever you think greatness I've done. I'm telling you, man, that guy, he has really, really been solid for me.
Dude,
Great
I'm
dude.
so glad. And he's now managing the Fort Smith store.
He is in Springdale with me as the
Okay.
service manager.
Okay.
So we both went and did, some different things.
Right.
He worked for me as the manager in Fort Smith while I was running around doing district manager stuff. And we both had an opportunity to come back to Springdale, more local. I don't travel anymore.
Let's go.
For the most part. He's closer to home. The stars aligned. It was meant to be.
Dude,
So
when I was
jumped on the opportunity and haven't looked back.
No, I wouldn't have
So-
either. I didn't know that, dude. I
Yeah.
got to go say hi.
Yeah, he's out there.
I had no idea. Last time I had talked, he was in. It had been some months ago. Anyways, but when I was talking about Daniel's stud team back in the day, Big Shane was a 100% crucial part of it all.
Oh, yeah.
He was a man, dude.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't find Daniel, I go to him. I go
Yeah.
through the shop doors. I mean, we were definitely very established at that point.
Sure.
And if I couldn't get a hold of you, I'd go find him because he had real information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't get told a fib. I didn't get told nothing. Oh,
Yeah.
that's coming out.
Good or bad.
He'd be like, no, dude, it's hose, bro.
Yeah.
We ain't getting it till Thursday, so come back Monday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was so crucial in the honesty, and big shout out to that guy, dude. But no, shout out to you, man. Good leaders don't ever take the credit, and I don't try to take the credit. I would be nothing without my team, dude, as you've seen us grow through this crazy time, you know what I mean? Over the last, we're 9 years in, and we'll be starting our 9th year, and we just started. It's crazy, man. Feels like yesterday I was in your office going, "What's an invoice?"
I know.
man?
Man, it flies.
And
It does.
as long as you, I guess, just the grit and determination, and I think you hit it on the head. Enjoy what you do.
Absolutely.
Dude, enjoy it. Don't dread going to work. There's so many opportunities out there, and there's so many trades willing to take on new people to teach them. And in 4 years, you have a brand new degree. You make $60,000-$70,000 real quick in the trades in about 3 to 4 years if you know what you're doing and you know how to manage. You know how to send an email. That's
Yeah.
a big thing.
Sure.
As I'm trying, my guys email, but I'm trying to move them over to a system. It's so hard to get blue collar guys to do it and
Yeah.
fill out the paperwork, all the paperwork. Not, I
Yeah.
just want to fill out 2 lines. And I know you probably have
Oh, yeah.
more stacks of paper than I do. But, dude, one last question for you. I ask everybody that comes on the show, what's a takeaway, since we're talking about the blue collar worker, my dude? What's a takeaway for the blue collar worker who is just absolutely sick and tired of being stuck in the mud, whether that can be taken in a literal sense, but normally I mean in that apprenticeship or that guy pressure washing out behind pressure washing machines. How does he get to what you did?
Man, I'll tell you, just everything I've done, I've always done it to the best of my ability. It's definitely not the best somebody else could do, but I have given my all. I've relied on other people who know what they're doing. I learn stuff every day. I've learned stuff from our wash guys, from drivers. I try to soak up anything, any knowledge I can. If somebody else has a smarter, better, safer way to do it, easier, I am all about doing
Me and you.
whatever's easier, man. I mean, whatever gets the job done, the safest, easiest, quickest way. Why not see what other people are doing and learn from it, man? Just have an open mind and make sure you're doing what you enjoy doing. And if you don't, sit back and think about it and figure that out, because that makes a big difference for sure.
Dude,
So
I think you hit that on the head, man. You got to enjoy it. I truly do. And once the enjoyment wears off, the pride and the passion kind of kicks in. You know what I mean? And as a blue collar or anything, you just, whether you're going to start at the bottom somewhere, guys, and don't think it's the only limiter is you.
yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely.
And give it your best every single day, even when you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's hard, dude.
It is.
And it's a testament, though, you speaking on your guys and learning from them. And I'm the same way, dude. I'm 100% the same way. If I'm like, hey, go out there, run this manhole, and do this, and my superintendent goes to me, have you thought about this to here, to here, to here, to here? And I'm like, no. Is that going to save us money? Yeah. Why are we not doing that?
Yeah. And, a lot of these guys, they've done it so long, and they know the best way to do it. But then also, you get stuck in your own ways. And then you hire a guy, and on day one, he says, hey, man, why are we doing this?
Yep.
And you're like, dude, we've been doing this for 20 years, and you on day one just told us a better way to do it.
I've been there, man.
So just be open to that, because it happens every day, all the time. So,
dude, well, I really appreciate your time, my guy. If you guys have enjoyed Mr. Long's time, Daniel Long, you can get him, shoot him an email if you got any rental questions, daniel.long@equipmentshare.com. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please take a stop and a visit by bluecollarbusinesspodcast.com. All our episodes will be on there, from various formats to a conversation like, how do you rent equipment, Daniel, to civil engineers, to my wife, to guys on my team. So I really appreciate you guys there. Daniel, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I know how busy you are. I know how busy I am. It's a different format, but I want to say thank you for all the people that you just helped through this 45-minute hour session here, man, because I know me and you sitting here having this conversation are going, oh, yeah, this, duh.
Sure.
Duh. But it's going to be absolutely relevating to somebody out there. And they're going to go, because I listened and you took the time out of your busy schedule to sit here and go, hey, let's talk about a few things. Man, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it from them and from me. You've always, no homo, but definitely had a special place in my heart for a long time, my dude. And business-wise, you are the stud in the rental game. There is not a question about it. Oh, shout out to Lino. I got to give a little bit of Lino love, because you produce good leaders, dude. I mean, everybody I've worked with through there, I can think of various people, everyone that hangs around you, you expect more out of them, but it's because they watch you do more than most would do. So, big shout out to you there. But guys, I really appreciate all your time. Rental equipment, you got any questions, shoot it to Daniel, and I bet you he can point you in the right directions. But until next time, guys, be safe, be kind, be humble, and we'll catch you next time. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a like, share it with the fellers, check out our website to send us any questions and comments about your experience in the blue collar business. Who do you want to hear from? Send them our way, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you may have. Till next time, guys.